Welcome back to Street Switch Photography. This is about Channel 4 News caught lying yet again. Let's do this.
Street Switch Photography.
So welcome back to Street Switch Photography. I'm doing a live tonight that I said I'd be doing in my last video. This is about auditors that go around to migrant hotels and show everybody exactly what it is that's happening. Mostly migrant hotels that are full of men, not families. Now, apparently, according to AY Audits, they're going to be doxing some auditors tonight, which to me is very irresponsible of Channel 4 News. They are despicable, they are disgusting, they push an agenda, they twist the narrative, they do not tell the truth. So I thought I would do a live video on it. So let's take a look at exactly what it is that the news are going to say about AY Audits or any other auditor out there. Now they're probably going to mention AJ Audits, who was a registered paedophile, and some probably other auditors, but not all auditors are the same. Let's watch and see what they say, because I'm going to tear this thing a new bottom hole.
Thank you.
Now, a summer of anger over small boats and asylum hotels saw streets across the country fill with protesters, and among them the ground soldiers of a new movement, social media auditors, self-appointed citizen journalists, often with links to anti-migrant and right-wing groups.
Wrong. Not every single auditor has a connection with a right-wing group. That is just bullshit. So they've just started with a total lie. They seem to try and push this agenda that everything they disagree with, the far left, is far right. That's wrong. Let's just look at some evidence. Just recently in America, there's been 2 more shootings by, guess who? The far left. And they've shot 2 people to do with ICE. ICE are the anti-immigration over in America. So the far left commit yet another assassination of 2 people.
Often with links to anti-migrant and right-wing groups, film and live stream the demonstrations. Some breaking into asylum hotels, all for an...
Wrong. They don't break into the hotels. They walk into the hotels. If the doors are open, they enter the hotel. At the end of the day, a hotel is somewhere where you would go and book a room if you were on holiday and things like that. They walk into the hotel. When they're asked to leave, they leave. You can go online and you can watch this on YouTube. AY Audits is one of the best migrant hotel investigators out there. It was all brought together by, I think it was DJE Media that started doing it first, but he started doing other things. So AY Audits came in and filled that gap. There are a lot of people doing it, and there are a lot of people still going to be doing it, but AY Audits thinks that his channel might be taken down because of these arseholes here. Now, they're mainstream media. They work for the government. They're on the government side, who are a far left-wing organisation themselves. Don't believe everything the mainstream media tell you.
All for an online audience of millions. In some cases, they're raking in tens of thousands of pounds along the way. The growing industry has sparked its own copycats, with some people taking matters into their own hands.
Now, I know what they're going to do. They're going to show a video of a bloke or a few guys that enter a migrant hotel and walk into one of the bedrooms. Now, I don't agree with that. This is one auditor out of many auditors. And I'm not even sure that all these were the same sort of, in the same group. So let's take a look at that.
Its own copycats, with some people taking matters into their own hands, targeting those they suspect of being an asylum seeker, as Amelia Jen has been investigating. And
if they're in a migrant hotel, okay, they've came across on the boat. This hotel is full of men, fighting age men, and they've been doing things quite serious, haven't they? They're more than likely an asylum seeker. That isn't rocket science.
Jen has been investigating. And just to warn you, her report does contain some moderately offensive language.
Like bottoms.
We risk becoming an island of strangers.
This is not about...
Stop letting people in who we don't bloody know then, you moron.
We risk becoming an island of strangers.
This is not about race, it's about what's right and wrong.
No young man from Iran who arrives by boat should be walking the streets of our country.
This is Britain! We live here!
This They shouldn't be saying refugees off our streets. They should be saying illegal migrants. Refugees are welcome in our country. We have the Ukrainian scheme because of the war over there. We had the Afghan scheme where people came over. And guess what? They all had passports.
This is Britain! We live here!
Refugees off our streets!
Today is the spark of a cultural revolution! Everyone over there, come over here! Everyone over there, come on over!
In an outrage economy.
Here we go, the far right, Tommy Robinson. Everybody in this audience from Scotland, Wales, England, everywhere, all over the Great Britain are all far right because there was one man there that used to be far right, that has been right about everything he says. People call him racist, yet we've still not got one shred of evidence of him ever being racist. Not one. I challenge you to go and find it, because I've looked and I can't find it, and I'm pretty good at searching for stuff.
In an outrage economy where clicks mean cash, the far-right EDL founder turned influencer
Let's get that in there, didn't they? They far-right EDL. The EDL was disbanded back in 2008. It no longer exists, and it was a bunch of football hooligans who used to go out and get in a couple of scraps. That's what the EDL was, let's be honest. Tommy Robinson made a movement basically because he's seen his town changing. In Luton, it changed from a predominantly white town, and then it was full of people from abroad. Now, whether they were there illegally or legally, I don't know. I can only speculate, which I will not do. Let's keep watching and see what Channel 4 say.
In an outrage economy where clicks mean cash, the far-right EDL founder turned influencer Tommy Robinson struck gold. Now he's spreading the word with legions of digital disciples.
Tommy Robinson!
Legions of digital disciples. What's it going to be next? You know, we stand together. You know, does she think the female version of Bleeding Churchill or something?
Struck gold. Now he's spreading the word with legions of digital disciples.
Tommy Robinson! Absolutely! No, he's definitely a saint.
And at least 50 people calling themselves citizen journalists were live streaming and filming from his march, some of them wearing bespoke press passes. The increasingly angry debate over immigration offers limitless and lucrative content.
Now, in this country, we have something called freedom of press, which means anybody can record and report on something if it is in the public interest. The reason that the mainstream media have press badges is because they're given to them by government, and the government can control exactly what they say, exactly what they do, exactly what they say. Everything about mainstream media is a lie. Created to brainwash people of Great Britain. They are liars. They are nothing but liars, and I do say this on more or less every video that I do like this. Go and watch Tommy Robinson's documentary, whether you like him or not, called Drama. I'll leave a link in the description taking you straight to that video. It is damning evidence of what actually happens and what they will, actual lengths that they will go to. And I'd just like to remind everybody, this is the channel, Channel 4, that during the election sent in an actor, employed by Channel 4, an actor, to act far right, to walk in an office in Clacton-on-Sea and start shouting racial slurs when he wanted to volunteer to post leaflets for reform through people's doors. And then Channel 4 decided, what we'll do is we will report that, saying that Reform UK are far right. Turns out they were working for Channel 4. So we now know that Channel 4 are liars. And they're in bed also with the BBC. Yes, the BBC, the paedophile harbouring network. So, let's carry on with the video.
Offers limitless and lucrative content, with a cottage industry seeing people break into hotels.
They do not break into hotels. They walk through an open door, because it is what you call publicly accessible. Nobody has ever broken into a hotel, especially none of these auditors. And then when they are asked to leave, because they're trespassing, which is a civil matter, if they refuse to leave, it becomes aggravated trespass, which at that point the security guard can use physical movements to move that person out of their land. That's it.
offers limitless and lucrative content, with the cottage industry seeing people break into hotels,
No way!
blockade a council building,
They ain't going nowhere.
and even harassing children they mistake for asylum seekers.
Quite a lot of them want to with.
Now, what happened, I think, or what they're trying to actually point towards here was where AY Audits actually got arrested, was walked about 100 yards and then de-arrested. He accidentally went to a hotel that was housing families. Most of his videos, in fact, nearly all of his videos, are hotels full of men. And he goes round and he speaks to these immigrants, these illegal immigrants, because let's be honest, that's what they are. They broke into this country. They invaded this country without a passport. They've already broke the law, and he humanises them. He asks them questions. Why did you come to this country? What job are you planning on getting in this country? Whereabouts are you planning on moving to in this country? And moving forward, are you bringing your family over to this country? These are the types of questions that these auditors ask. Channel 4 are going to try and make these auditors look as bad as possible for the simple reason they're getting more views than Channel 4. It's happening with Sky, it's happening with the BBC, it's happening with everything, ITV. The new media is citizen media. That's what it is, and this is why they do this sort of shit right here.
Quite a lot of them want to where they're from.
It's an August evening in Hertfordshire, and for more than a month now, crowds have been standing outside this hotel every Friday night.
Hertfordshire, Epping, where an immigrant has recently been put in prison for doing something to a child, and then even more recently another immigrant has been entering schools whilst children were at schools, and they were told to hide under the table and put the schools on lockdown whilst the parents were outside not allowed to go in and collect their children. Yeah, let's say it as it is, shall we, Channel 4?
For more than a month now, crowds have been standing outside this hotel every Friday night.
Why have they?
Since the sexual assault of a teenage girl by an asylum seeker 8 miles away in neighbouring Essex, protesters say they're concerned about the safety of women and girls.
And that makes them far right, apparently.
By an asylum seeker 8 miles away in neighbouring Essex, protesters say they're concerned about the safety of women and girls. They want this hotel also housing asylum seekers, in this instance families and more than 100 children, shut down.
Now, Epping.
They want this hotel also...
Epping is quite a small and rich area. There's predominantly middle class working there and everything else, and then all of a sudden they get 200 and something odd migrants dumped on their doorstep, playing music loud at night, smoking joints outside, doing all sorts of, let's just say, antisocial behaviour. Can you see why they would be annoyed?
They want this hotel also housing asylum seekers, in this instance families and more than 100 children, shut down. And the counter-protesters...
So they've tried to make that sound like the one at 8 miles down the road is predominantly men. They've tried to make it sound like it's got families in there because she mixed that up with the other one as well. That's how that's worked.
And the counter-protesters gone.
The counter-protesters that the police actually shipped in there, they brought them in buses. They collected them from the train station, let them out of the vans about a mile up the road, and then walked them down, because Diane Abbott actually funds Just Stop Racism. The government fund this organisation. I think it should be classed as a terrorist organisation, but if the government are funding it, it's funded by the Home Office. Go and look it up, go and do your research, and you will find I am correct.
And the counter-protesters gone. What starts peacefully ends in chaos and online.
Now, why did it end in chaos? For exactly the reason I've just said. Because basically the police brought in Antifa and Just Stop Racism to actually antagonise these families that live round that area. Now, they'll probably try and tell you that there was 20 odd arrests at the Tommy Robinson event. What they won't tell you is 18 of those arrests were of the far left variety at much smaller protests. So it turned out it was 13 people that were arrested from the far right and 18 from the far left.
And online. For some, this isn't just a protest, it's also become a business opportunity.
I'm a citizen journalist. I've been standing over there, over here and over there.
With
a business opportunity. So you have a problem with somebody wanting to make a living from YouTube, and earn money and earn a wage packet, and you do pay tax on it, you've got a problem with that. Yet Channel 4 are the greediest arseholes who send their reporters out and everything else and earn millions. And they are connected to the BBC, so they don't just earn millions off the shows that they show, they earn millions off all sorts of things. Liars. Hypocrites.
With some live streamers and content makers earning thousands each month.
I'm just asking you to answer my question, mate.
We've been at protests in Essex, Hertfordshire and London, where self-described citizen journalists say they offer an unedited alternative to the mainstream media.
Correct. Because it hasn't been doctored to look any other way, because they live stream it. You can't edit live streams. Whereas, funnily enough, Channel 4 don't put it on until the evening, so they can edit it exactly the way that they want it. So what will happen is, obviously, the police will bring in Antifa. Antifa will stand there and antagonise the far right. The far right will get angry, the far left will pretend to get angry, and then basically they'll all start having a bit of a kerfuffle. And then all of a sudden the police will say, mainstream media, your turn, come in and photograph these far right people fighting with the far left. Then you can blame it on the far right. And then Keir Starmer can come on to telly and say, it's the far right thugs. That's how it works.
Unedited alternative to the mainstream media. One of the most known among them calls himself AY Audits. Channel 4.
Now, are they actually going to dox him?
Unedited alternative to the mainstream media. One of the most known among them calls himself AY Audits. Channel 4 News has identified him as Anthony Barnes.
Oh my God.
He's had nearly...
There you go. Now, they've just doxed AY Audits. They've gave his real name. And with what's happened with Charlie Kirk over in America, and recently it's on the news right now, another far left shooting of two people from what they suspect to be ICE, which is to do with the anti-immigration authorities over in America. They've just gone and doxed AY Audits. Absolutely despicable. Absolutely disgusting. And Channel 4 should be held to account for this. If I had the power, I would boycott Channel 4 100%. In fact, I'd boycott mainstream media. If nobody watches it, they'll go down.
News has identified him as Anthony Barnes. He's had nearly 30 million views now, and this, his most viewed live stream outside the Bell Hotel in Epping, has more than 800,000 views.
He wasn't the only auditor there. There were quite a few auditors there, but they go for the one with the highest rating because basically he's been telling the truth. They really don't like the truth, Channel 4 or the government, do they?
Outside the Bell Hotel in Epping has more than 800,000 views. He shows the crowd recognising a woman they say is a counter-protester. He narrates to his audience.
Look how many police officers they've actually got around. One.
Shipping in Antifa and Just Stop Racism. Yeah, that's what they're there for, because they actually had footage of them actually helping them get back on the buses, or the minibuses, and escorting them back to the train station. There's footage online about it. So why are Channel 4 doing this? Have they been told by government to do it? I don't know. But
around one person. Missiles coming in again. Police officers cut in the face.
Later he asks,
will you be arrested once you get her out of here?
Earlier in the feed, next to the leader of an organisation that describes itself as a national socialist movement.
Now, you've probably noticed this is very strategically edited. If you go and watch AY Audit's videos, it will give you the full context. Go and watch his videos and make an informed decision on that. Do not believe what Channel 4 are pumping out. It's disgusting, it's wrong, they've doxed a man. They've probably ruined this guy's life.
Organisation that describes itself as a national socialist movement to preserve the white race. He advertises when asked.
It's got nothing to do with race. Absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with race. What it's got to do with is people entering this country illegally and protecting our women and children. And if you turn around to me and say there's no reason for that, You've been watching far too much of the mainstream media. You are brainwashed, and you're never going to admit to that because you're probably a narcissist as well.
Organisation that describes itself as a national socialist movement to preserve the white race. He advertises, when asked, a flyer.
Yeah, okay, no problem, mate.
So this is supposed to be a white supremacist flyer. So Channel 4 are actually trying to make this look bad. Now, I would say on AY's side here, this is actually a good thing that he's actually showing this on his channel, because that way he's getting both sides. As I said before, in many of his videos, he actually tries to humanise these immigrants and things like that. He asks them questions, he talks to them. And I'm pretty sure in some cases, if he had the power to actually help them, he would help them. If they were there genuinely. But most of them aren't, because they broke into the country illegally. I'll be answering some questions at the end of this video. I'll go through the live chat. Let's carry on with the video.
Flyer.
Yeah, okay, no problem, mate.
Anybody who wants to look it up, go on Twitter.
There you go, guys.
Excuse me.
He agreed to talk to us at one of the weekly Epping protests, where I asked him about the flyer.
It's an organisation that many people would consider to be white supremacist. Do you think there's a danger in sort of promoting or allowing someone to promote that material on your stream, you know?
Now, before AY Audits actually talks here, go and watch his version of it as well. And then you'll see exactly how Channel 4 have edited this. You'll see exactly what I mean. And that puts that straight to bed.
Danger in sort of promoting or allowing someone to promote that material on your stream, you know, just...
No, but I think calling people Nazi, racist, fascist, paedophiles and everything else is probably promoting hate, isn't it, from the far left? Because we've already had somebody in America shot and killed in front of his children, and 2 more people today by the far left. How many far left terrorist organisations are there? Go and GPT chat it. Far many more than there are far right, and yet there hasn't been one far right assassination for years.
Danger in sort of promoting or allowing someone to promote that material on your stream, you know, just like that?
I'm going to be totally honest with you, yeah. It is dangerous, yeah.
Do you regret it?
Well, I don't even know I've done it, so I can't quite say if I regret something or what, but if someone's come up to me and they've given me a, what did you say it was, white supremacist?
It said preserve the white race
Preserve
on it.
the white race.
Yeah.
And I've flashed it, it's only, do you know what I mean? There's so many people come to these things.
He was doing journalism. He just showed somebody a leaflet that somebody was carrying and what they were handing out.
Come to these things with...
Is it the kind of organisation you would agree with?
Well, definitely not, you know.
Okay.
There you go.
Not.
But will Channel 4 take
Barnes
that?
is also what's called an auditor.
Oh, stop. He's just broke in to a hotel. He opened the door. Now, if that was breaking and entering, he'd have kicked the door through and then entered. That is not breaking into a hotel, is it? Now, you can notice the security guard there just about to approach him. Let's see if he gets violent.
Barnes is also what's called an auditor, someone who approaches or enters premises filming often confrontational interactions with staff. Here you see him walking into the Hertfordshire hotel, and when asked by security staff and then police to leave, he refuses over the...
That's because trespass is a civil offence until when you're asked to leave. If you refuse to leave, which he doesn't usually do, I've not seen a video where he's actually refused to leave, so that's more bullshit. It becomes aggravated trespass.
Refuses over the course of a 30-minute negotiation.
Please don't come back into the site.
Listen, I'll do what I want to do.
Come back into the site, sir, then I'll arrest you to prevent the breach of the peace.
Go on then, do it then. I can walk over there in a minute.
Come back in the site.
Go on. I'll be walking straight through there in a minute. And there's not all you can do about it.
There is.
So this is the video where he entered a hotel. He went and asked some questions. The police came. He was asked to leave. He was leaving. And there's no time limit on when you leave a premises if you've been asked to leave. And the police arrest him. He gets arrested for about 15 to 20 minutes and then they release him.
Do about it.
Let's see if they tell you that bit.
No,
They eventually arrest him. Arrests are among his most popular videos.
What do you mean I'm under arrest?
His views per month have risen from 1 million in May to more than 10 million by August, a tenfold increase.
So you go and dox him because he's doing well. Is that how Channel 4 actually work now? Why don't we sort of get everybody... So how would Channel 4 feel, okay, if each and every single reporter had their address doxed? How do you think they'd actually feel about that? Would they feel worried? I'd guess they would. So how they get away with this? Why do they get away with it? Because they're in bed with the government and the police. That's why. Does it make sense yet?
Just a tenfold increase. We asked the digital consultancy Fenimore Harper to calculate his income. They told us it could sit between 10 to 20,000 each month.
Now, how the monetisation process actually works is YouTube will show an advert every 20 to I'd say every 10 minutes they'll show an advert, and the auditor or the YouTube channel owner will receive 30p for each view and of that advert. So it's got nothing to do with making money off the actual video, it's got more to do with the actual adverts. Obviously, the more people that watch that video, the more they're going to watch that advert. So they've got the monetisation process completely wrong.
Between 10 to 20,000 each month.
He's earning a good living.
Advertisers like EasyJet, Boots and Ocado running ads on his content.
There you go.
The more provocative that they can be on these platforms, the more likely that they're going to have views, and with those views comes money.
Do you mean more provocative when they've just arrested another celebrity or arrested a celebrity for having different views? So we've got another political prisoner of Keir Starmer, a well-known celebrity, and I'm trying to remember her name. I'll remember her name by the end of the video.
Monetisation from ad revenues and also
Katie Hopkins. There you go.
Monetisation from ad revenues and also from donors as well, who may be ideologically aligned.
So-called hotel investigating isn't a new phenomena. Nigel Farage was doing it back in 2020.
Can we book rooms, yeah?
I'm afraid not.
But the practice has accelerated with videos like this.
Now this video, did they look like they just broke into that hotel? It looked to me like the door was actually open. Now he goes in somebody's bedroom here. I don't agree with this one video that Channel 4 have found.
I'm afraid not.
But the practice has accelerated with videos like this one of a group of men breaking into asylum seekers' bedrooms, getting more than 1 million views.
That wasn't breaking into the bedroom.
In the UK? That's what we're here to ask you. How do you mean? Out now.
All this of someone checking who was in a coach in a hotel car park.
Apparently a coach has been pictured outside.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but people see... rugby team, there you go, thank you very much.
It's generated copycat behaviour, with would-be sleuths misidentifying and harassing people they believe to be asylum.
So when everybody else runs this story like the BBC and ITV, would you call that copycat behaviour? Would you call that exactly what you're accusing auditors of? You tell me.
Would-be sleuths misidentifying and harassing people they believe
They haven't misidentified anybody, they're illegal migrants. Just because you've labelled them something else doesn't make it real. You label men women because of your woke ideology. So don't come out with that crap. That's absolute bullcrap. These people do not live in modern day reality. They live in a completely and utterly make-believe world and believe what they want.
Would-be sleuths misidentifying and harassing people they believe to be asylum seekers because of the colour of their skin. Jonathan, a university lecturer from Wales, volunteers as a youth Christian camp leader. The church groups have been coming to the same village since 2011 without any problems. But this year, as well as someone breaking in, they said to check who they were. A group of locals started filming as children as young as 4 and their parents, most of whom are black, left on the last day.
You see, they're trying to bring race into it again because they were black. It's got nothing to do, again, with local people being angry because of what's happening in schools and why, you know, all these cases that the police, I'm not going to say the actual word, but why these cases have actually skyrocketed. Crime has skyrocketed in London under Sadiq Khan. Absolutely gone through the bloody roof. And they still sit there and say, well, it's race. It's to do with race. You're all fascist. You're all far right. That, what I've just said, obviously will not cause any problems for the far right whatsoever. These mainstream media people, they've got to be shut the hell down. And I hope if Nigel Farage does get in, that he actually does something about it to stop these arseholes doing what they're doing. They've just doxed someone. That can ruin somebody's life.
Filming as children as young as 4 and their parents, most of whom are black, left on the last day.
Taking up all those spaces in those schools and everything.
I asked them why they were taking pictures of young people, and they were saying that they're trying to protect the community. Then I said, you're protecting the community from whom?
Now, if anybody in the comments can go and check out who this guy is, let's see if he's been paid by Channel 4. Everybody we see, we need to double check them to see whether they've been paid by Channel 4 or if they've got any history with Channel 4, because 9 times out of 10 that is usually the case. Exactly the same as what happened during the elections, where they decided they were going to pay an actor that worked for Channel 4 to act like a far-right activist, posting leaflets through these letterboxes.
The
they got caught out with the hands in the biscuit tin, didn't they?
The community from whom? The answer was from immigrants.
The footage then appeared on Facebook with comments underneath.
Things like...
They pick on somebody like AY because his channel was doing so well. He's had that many views and that many hits on his YouTube channel because they're worried that he's showing people exactly what it is that's happening out there. Exactly what it is that's happening out there. And again, if you live in a small village and there's a hotel near you or something along those lines, or there might be, you know, the Home Office might put in people into a 2-bedroomed house to get round the licensing laws or something like that, and then you've got people, you know, these migrants dancing on parks where children go and play and stuff like this, and you don't know whether your kid's locked in a school under a table because there's been a migrant seen running through the playground, looking through windows, trying to enter the building. We're not going to be worried about that one single bit. Do you know why? Because we're all far right. Just right.
The footage then appeared on Facebook with comments underneath.
Things like Islamifying our country, illegal immigrants wanting to get benefits.
It isn't just Islam. It's not just Islam. There's all sorts of different people coming to this country. From Romania, they're coming. They're coming from all corners, third world countries. So why they had to bring Islam into it, I don't know.
Immigrants wanting to get benefits.
What impact do you think this might have had on the children?
They have seen their picture trending or circulating on social media.
Bullshit.
I stood by the gate and I saw...
Now, I've not actually seen any of this on social media.
Yeah. I saw how upset some of these young people were.
The video was removed and the comments are being...
Oh, that's quite... yeah, that's very convenient. The video was removed. Maybe it never existed.
The video was removed and the comments are being investigated by police.
By default, if you are a patriot, the people you are fighting are not patriots.
The Institute for Strategic Dialogue says August...
Now what we're going to do is show you... I think this was after the Axel Ruda-Kabara case, where all the locals came out and basically they were very angry because of what had happened. And they're going to show you footage from that, which is nothing to do with what AY audits or any other, you know. Let's have a look.
The Institute for Strategic Dialogue says August saw a record spike in anti-migrant language on X, with 440,000 posts compared to 260,000 at the height of the riots last year. That's a 69%.
Because Britain has woken up. That's why. Britain has woken up and they now know the truth of despicable channels like Channel 4.
40,000 posts compared to 260,000 at the height of the riots last year.
I hope AY watches this video to see how much support he's got in the comments. And it's people like AY, DJE and all these others need to stop fighting between themselves and actually get out there and do something about this, actually stick together.
40,000 posts compared to 260,000 at the height of the riots last year. That's a 69% increase.
Groups or individuals like the hotel investigators or hotel auditors play a key role in terms of creating a narrative that asylum seekers are part of a government conspiracy against white British people, that they are fundamentally a source.
Explain the two-tier policing then, Channel 4. absolutely thousands of videos of two-tier policing, two-tier judiciary, two-tier everything. Explain that. Explain your way out of that one. I bet you don't.
If the asylum seekers are part of a government conspiracy against white British people, that they are
no
fundamentally
longer a
source of
conspiracy,
primarily
a proven
crime,
fact.
and that the only way to fight them is to, engage in this kind of vigilante journalism, or citizen journalism as they describe it.
Vigilante journalism. So what Channel 4 do is not vigilante journalism, actually doxing somebody on live TV. That isn't vigilante journalism, is it? No, it's downright disgusting.
They describe it.
Back in Hertfordshire, Broxbourne's Conservative council leader, like the protesters, wants the asylum hotel closed.
Good.
And has even launched a legal case against the Home Office. But she's had to change her routine to avoid being pursued on camera.
I feel a level of vulnerability now if I come into the car park, because I wonder, is somebody just going to jump out of the bushes with a camera?
They're a public figure, but they're in front of Channel 4's camera. They've got no problem with that camera, have they? No. What's going on there?
I feel a level of vulnerability now if I come into the car park, because I wonder, is somebody just going to jump out of the bushes with a camera? They came in and they interrogated a receptionist member of staff who was extremely traumatised by that.
A crowd even blockaded the council building using traffic.
We can trust the Conservatives and Labour, can't we? That's why, in the polls, Reform are surging ahead. We can put 100% trust in our government, can't we? Everything they say, everything they do is for the British people. It's got nothing to do with being a Stasi communist, flaming Marxist government.
Even blockaded the council building using traffic cones to stop staff leaving.
Here today we've sealed the entrance and exit off, so nobody's going home on time today.
We are fighting all we can to see the
freedom of
closure of the hotel.
speech.
We have been doing that since it opened in 2022. So it does make me angry. It makes me feel very protective. It makes me feel very protective of the staff, that that they feel vulnerable and that they're like, we want to lock the doors. Well, we can't do that. This is a council that's open for business.
An invasion that continues every single...
That's the lady that was arrested for hanging a British flag over a building. She walked up some stairs which were publicly accessible. She hung the Union Jack over the stairwell like that. And the police went and literally, you can go and watch the video, literally jumped on her like she was a psychopath or something. And they arrested her. This was the Pink Ladies.
The doors, well, we can't do that. This is a council that's open for business.
An invasion that continues every single day without consequence.
Police chiefs say officer morale is plummeting, with some content creators increasing community tensions and
because they know the truth, and they're not increasing community tensions at all. It's the police that bring in these far left groups that create these problems. 99% of these protests are actually peaceful. And like I say, you will get a couple of bad ones in there. But let's look at some statistics, shall we, again? There was supposed to have been 1 million people at the Tommy Robinson event. 13, what they like to call far right, were arrested. Now, the Palestinian Action protest that was going on not far from that actual location, there were more arrested, and it was a lot smaller. Charlie Kirk, assassinated. President Trump, attempted assassination twice by the far left. And today, 2 people from ICE assassinated in America by a lone gunman with inscriptions on the bullets, yet again, of a far left ideology. Which is the more dangerous? And this is what they protect.
And misinformation.
Sometimes they're looking for content that they want to do to stoke up hatred and...
The same as Channel 4 look for content.
Sometimes they're looking for content that they want to do to
the same as the BBC look for content.
And criminality, and it can often leave a false impression in communities and a viewing audience as to what's actually gone on.
There are growing fears that digital vigilantism could even lend fuel to offline violence. In July...
But calling people Nazis, calling people far right, calling people pedophiles, calling people nonces, calling people fascist, calling people homophobic, calling people all these disgusting, despicable names that come from the far left will not create any problem whatsoever, will it?
Is that digital vigilantism could even lend fuel to offline violence. In July, 2 security staff at the Bell Hotel in Epping were hospitalised at a racially aggravated attack. In a world in which context and respect are readily
And lies.
were hospitalised at a racially aggravated attack. In a world in which context and respect are readily sacrificed at the altar of impressions and views, from the parapet, a new brand of messenger is growing louder in both voice and audience.
So, with the end of that video, the reason I did this video is because I actually spotted the AY audits video that, I can't remember the name of the auditor that actually did it, but a shout out to AY and a shout out to all the other auditors that actually do this sort of thing. It takes a lot of time and actual effort to actually do this. Now, there are always going to be bad eggs, whatever job, whatever way you face, whether it be right or left. There's always going to be bad eggs. There's always going to be the odd couple that are bad. That's just the way it is. You can't please everybody 100% of the time. And I just hope this video reveals Channel 4 for exactly what it is. The BBC are the same, the ITV are the same, Channel 5 are the same, LBC are the same, Sky News are the same. They're all the same. So what I suggest you do is watch the BBC, watch a story on there, and then go and Google it, go onto YouTube and find the same story that one of these non-mainstream media citizen journalists have actually been live there, and actually watch the real footage and make an informed decision on what you're actually seeing, and do your research. Actually do it, because that way it'll open your eyes, it'll open your mind, and it'll open your ears to exactly what it is that's going on in this country. And this is why Channel 4 are still doing this, is because they're scared. They're shit scared because the people are waking up. They're shit scared because people are actually waking up to exactly what it is that's going on with this government and with the previous government. This has been Street Switch Photography. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Go and hit the notification bell. I'm going to read a few of the comments that I've received on here, and bloody hell, there's quite a few comments. I'll go through a few of them. I'm not going to be able to go through all of them. Those who've watched AY audits will know the Nazis Channel 4 are out tonight. Yeah, well, this is Kenny. Shout out to Kenny. I tried to check Channel 4 news. The viewing figures appear impossible to actually get a number up. Yeah, well, people like AY Audits are actually getting more views than Channel 4 and Sky News, because people have woken up, as I said before. We've got Colin Fisher. I support watching mainstream media. Last year, it took me ages to see the light. So this is basically somebody that's converted from watching mainstream media to watching people like myself, people like 2CTV, people like Paul Thorpe, people like AY Audits. Welcome to the real world. This one's from Kenny again. We've got, who else have we got? Kelly Lou. No words, Channel 4 are shocking. And lies, yes, they are. 100%. Now, I know that AY Audits has got history, but hasn't everybody? The same as Tommy's got history, the same as even I've got history. The only difference is I put my history out there, so there's no skeletons in my closet. I don't give a shit what people say. So if Channel 4 say, let's just for example, pulled a load of shit up on me, it wouldn't be anything new that I haven't already said and actually owned up to and gone, yep, I did that, because I own it. And I hold myself accountable for everything I do and say, because that's the type of character I am. Now, we've got all the UK news channels all the same. They are, yeah, and that was from Chris Houghton. Sorry if I've got your name wrong there. Shout out to Chris. Light Angel. Not ashamed to watch 2C at least he tells the truth. Yeah, 2C TV, mate. He is amazing. That man is Iranian, I think. I think he's Iranian, or is he Persian? One or the other. But he is a British patriot. He loves this country. I think he's just recently got married. He was on his honeymoon, the last thing I knew. That's probably one of the only news channels I actually watch now, other than I do watch GB News. Now, believe me, they are mainstream media, but they lean more to the right than they do the left. And Talk TV. I do watch those two on YouTube. Let's have a look at some more comments. With them doxing, yeah, somebody's just said, Light Angel, GB, it's dangerous. Well, yeah, they've just doxed a man. He will now, obviously, I think, have to move out of his home. He will no longer have a YouTube channel. That income is going to stop completely. They've completely messed his life up. And I think that Channel 4 should be held 100% responsible for that. If I was AY, I would take them to court and sue the actual shit out of them. Channel 4. 1 second, I'm just reading some more comments. AY does better than Channel 4. Yep, correct. I didn't realise there was this many comments, guys. Rest in peace, Josh. Rest in peace, Channel 4. I like it. Shout out to Josh. Let's have a look to see if there's anybody else that I haven't called out yet. We'll call out JJ. Call out to you. Said he didn't break the rules. Love it. Well done, YouTube. Yep. Moonchild, shout out to you. AY didn't get that much a month. Well, maybe not. I mean, like they say, the Channel 4, they like to push this agenda. They like to, you know, fake everything and twist it to their narrative. Somebody's basically, I remember saying it now, I couldn't remember who it was that I was arrested a few weeks back. It's Katie Hopkins. Thank you for that. Shout out to Mickey is Dead. We had 80 odd people watching, which I'm quite surprised at. There's a few hidden comments. Somebody agrees with what Colin said. Colin said, I think it will work in favour for AY. Maybe. And that was from Colin. Colin Fisher. Shout out to you, Colin. Yeah. Maybe, yeah. Actually, I didn't think of it like that. Good thinking. I mean, like you say, believe me, AY is not going to back down that easily. He is a force to be reckoned with. I mean, he's got a lot of people behind him, the same as DJ Media has, the same as, I don't know if anybody watches DJ Audits anymore. I don't tend to watch him anymore, but he tends to stay out the realms of political videos and things like that. So we're just coming to the end of the live chat. AY Audits puts himself out there. Shellynan, is that an N or an M? Shellynan, yeah, Shellynan. Shout out to you, Shellynan. Anyway, there's some of the comments. Thank you, everybody, so much for actually watching this video. That's probably the most live views I've actually had in one go. If you like this video, please share, like, and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next video, which should be tomorrow. Not 100%, so don't take my word for it, but thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.
Street Switch Story.